Hello all, welcome back to the channel. And this is lecture 2 of the SQL Bootcamp series. And here we are going to start practical session where I'll be covering very basic topics, how to use this tool, how to connect to SQL Server, and then next, how to create database, how to use database, how to alter database, all those statements, right? So as discussed in our previous lectures, I'm going to use SQL Server Management Studio where we are going to do all the practical sessions on Microsoft SQL Server, right? But for those who are familiar with any other SQL Server management servers, like be it SQL, MySQL or PostgreSQL, you don't need to worry. All these tools are almost similar, only a little difference in the user interface, right? But that is very easy. Once you learn one, switching to other is it will take just 1 or 2 days to get yourself familiarized with the interface, right? Yeah. So with that, I'm going to start the video, right? So first thing, I'll go in the search window and search for SQL. Yeah, I just typed SQL and I got option for Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, right? I'll click on this and it will take some time and come up, correct? Yeah. So first thing, as we discussed, how to connect to a SQL server, right? So in the backend, I've already created the SQL server, right? And this is my SQL server instance where it is asking what is the server name, correct? And before that, one more thing we need to understand here in the server type what we are going to see. So right now since we are connecting to database, that's why database engine is selected here, but there are multiple options like analysis services. So if you're dealing with data modules or Power BI servers or anything where you'll be using this analysis services, and you'll be connecting to analysis data modules, right? Reporting server. So some people who are using SQL Server reporting services, all those things, they'll be using this service. Integration services is again for people who are going to work on Microsoft SQL Server integration services, which is also named as SSIS, right? And similarly, now since Azure platform is there, Microsoft's cloud, they also have integrated SSIS functionality, right? So if there is Azure SSIS runtime, that's where we can connect using this option. But we are not going to deal all this right now in this particular series. We will focus on just this one, database engine. So make sure you have selected database engine here. You put the server name. If you are working in your local machine, you need to create a server before you are doing all this thing. So maybe on that, I'll upload a separate video, right? And then your authentication method I've set to Windows. So whatever, like since I have already logged into Windows, you'll take that default, and the username in the server I've set Saurabh Kumar. So that's where it is picking that. Now you just click on this and you will be able to connect, right? So once you connect, you see this interface where you have all the tool options like file, edit. If you already have some file created or you want to save this particular file, you want to make some edit, all those things. You want to change in the view, look and feel, you can do here. There are some tools which will help you optimize this, right? All these options are here. Help option is there, right? And then comes this bar where you have new query, tax query, mdx query, all those things. So this will be using, like whenever we have to create a new query, either you can click on control plus n to bring up a new query window, or just click on this, you'll get a new query window here where you can write your queries. For now, let me close this. Okay, so this is the like toolbar where you can see all these options, correct? Now coming here, so here you can see we have connected to this server, but let's say we also want to connect a additional server. So what do? I click on here. Again, it will ask for the server name. So let's say server 2 name is something else. We click that, connect here. So server 2 will appear here. So like that you can connect on different servers and work parallelly, right? Now once you are connected to server, what all options you get? You get database security option where you can create logins, all those things, right? Server objects, replication, polybase, all those things. So these are not required as of now, like definitely required, but once you go into like you develop a bit more understanding, you will be using these. For now I'll focus on this one, database, right? So there are two kind of databases actually, user databases and system databases. System databases are like mostly for managing like all the operations and everything, like master, model, msdb and tempdb, where all the temp operation and everything will be happening. Master is like once you'll open the query window, it'll be landing here in the master SQL database. Like let's say you have not created any user database, so by default you will be getting master database, and all the temp operation will be done in the temp db. For now that is enough. So our target is to learn how to create a database, how to play with it, and all those things, right? So go to the new query, correct? Now there are two ways. One is from the user interface, you can just create, right click on this database option. You can create a new database, right? So let's say I give database name is db underscore test underscore one, right? And all these features, functionality you can change. For now, I'll just let it be and click OK. So you see database is created already. This is from the user interface, but we are going to learn from the code how we are going to do that particular action, right? So for SQL, what we use is create, and then we are going to create database. So database and the name of database. So let's say I want to name my database as db test underscore 2, right? Semicolon. It is not mandatory, but ideally it is like very good practice to give semicolon here at the end. Now if you run this particular statement, you will get this message, right? Command completed successfully and completion time, all those details. Now where it is created, I don't see it. So what you have to do is come here and refresh the server. Okay. Okay, let me disconnect and reconnect. Yeah, now you see the database has appeared here. Okay. Now if you come to this query editor window, what you will see is right now we are in master's database, right? Which is system database. But since we have already created our own database, we want to work there, right? So for that, you want to use this particular DB test. So what is the command for that? For that, very simple command, want to use this particular database, right? So just type use before this and the database name. So syntax is use and database name. And if you trigger this, you will be inside this particular database. Now you see here it has changed. Now from master database, we have entered to this our database, which we created. Correct. Now third action could be, let's say you created this database, right? And you felt like, or somebody told that name is not good. We want to change the name. That is just for example, or like for alter. You can do multiple other actions. For now, I'll just be modifying the name, right? So what? How do we do that? The syntax is alter database, and what action we are going to do? Modify. Modify what? Modify name, and name here we need to give new name. New name is what? Let's say we are going to give a name is db underscore new. Okay. So this database will be renamed to db underscore new now, right? Let's run this. Okay, seems to be some altered database, altered database. Okay, let's run this one. Okay, so one thing I was missing here is which database we are going to alter, right? That information I was missing. So alter database name, which is old name, and then modify, then the new name, and this will be done. Right now it is not reflecting, but we'll try to refresh, or if it is not working, let's reconnect. Just see. Yeah, now you see database underscore test2 is gone and it is renamed as db underscore new. Okay, so we learned how to create a database, how to use it, and how to rename it or alter command, right? Alter action is not just to rename a database, multiple other options like changing the owner, all those actions can be done. For this database, right now owner is default, but let's say we want to change that. So that can be done from the query or from the user interface, both. So all those action can be done through this, right? Now, let's say a database is not in use anymore, correct? And we want to delete that particular database. So for that, what is the command? Command is drop database and this new name. Now it is known by database base underscore new now, correct? Okay. And if we run this particular query, this will be dropped. Okay, so here since we are learning, it is very simple. We are going to do it, but be very careful. Like mostly in your real time experience, you won't be using this because all these things will be managed by admin and mostly you won't have rights to drop a database because like in production it contains very crucial informations, right? So very simple syntax, but be very careful while doing this action in production, right? Very careful. Okay, now before dropping this, you see right now we are inside this database, and from here only if we trigger this particular statement drop database, it will give error because it is right now in use and we are saying that we want to drop it. That is not possible, right? So let's see what error we'll get. Okay, that's what I was saying, cannot drop the database because it is currently in use, right? Because we are inside this. Now to drop this, what we are supposed to do is we need to go to master database, correct? Okay, now we are outside this, and then if we run the query, it will drop the database, correct? Query ran successfully, and if you refresh here, this must be gone. Okay, somehow the refresh is not working. Let me reconnect and refresh here. Now if you go here, db underscore new is gone, correct? Yeah, so with this, I'll end the recording. And this is all about how to create a database, how to use it, how to alter it or rename it, how to drop a database when we are done, right? So with this, I'll stop and see you in next lecture. Thank you so much.